officers hoped. My first and worst online date, the drunk and the baby. It's 2008, I'm 18 and I meet a girl on OkCupid. She's older than me, 25 tilde, educated and a bit alternative. We agree to meet at a London pub for lunch at 1 in the afternoon, which is quite a journey for me, but I make it anyway. So, she turns up a bit late with a baby in a baby carriage. I had no idea she had a kid before this, but I didn't have a problem with it. She doesn't address that I didn't know about her kid but says she couldn't find babysitting. Cool. No problem. We both go up and order a drink separately and hang out and chat. We've been there for about 2 hours and she's gone up to the bar a whole bunch of times, mostly coming back with coffees and the occasional Coca-Cola. But then, quite suddenly, she falls forward onto the table and catches herself with her elbows and takes a big sigh and says, "Oh man. I didn't mean to get so drunk." What? I tell her I didn't realize that she's even been drinking, but she tells me that she's been having Irish coffees, rum and cokes as well as shots at the bar. So at this point I start looking for an out, but she's becoming more and more despondent and her 1-year-old is sat in his pram, so I can't leave in good conscience. I start encouraging her to get a taxi home and she starts to cry, apologizing and saying that I must hate her. But shortly after she closes her eyes and will only respond in mumbles and groans. I try and get her to come around enough to get an address out of her, which I can't, so I take her phone, which wasn't passworded. 2008 non-smartphones, most people didn't password their phone back then, find a contact called Mom and call it. I was hoping she could come and pick her up, but it turns out Mom lives in the south of Spain. She isn't one bit happy to hear from me after I explain what happened, but presenting myself as a friend. Nonetheless, she gives me an address to get her to. I ask the bar to call me a taxi, which they do, and one of the bar staff take pity on me and help me get the woman, the baby and the stroller into the cab. I was about to give the driver money for the trip and see them off, but I realized that was a bad idea because who knows what would happen? So I get in the taxi to go take her home holding a baby the entire way, which I've never done in my life at that point. Turns out the driver is a stand-up bloke and I explain what has happened and we have a laugh about it. When we get there he even assembles the pram for me as I take her and place her on her doorstep. I find her keys and get her door open, at which point some guy pops his head round the corner from the kitchen and asks, "Who the fuck are you?" I tell him my name and that I'm a friend and ask who he is. He says he's her fiancé. Uh-oh. He's pretty angry that I've gotten his fiancé with his child drunk in the middle of the day. After getting the pram through the door he begins to carry her up the stairs and he says to me, "You stay right there. You and I need to have a little chat." As soon as he turns the corner at the top of the stairs I turn and make a run for it, jump back in the taxi who I asked to take me to the nearest tube station. Afterward I needed some catharsis, so texted some friends who were locals and went out proper. And the kicker? On the train home that night I get a text message from her. "Had a lovely time. Can't wait to see you again." I block her number and never hear from her again.